Thank you for joining us. Well, it's a tale of two Americas in the ongoing battle against the Omicron variant. Some parts of the country can see light at the end of the tunnel, while others are seeing the biggest surge in cases since the start of the pandemic. In the Northeast, cases and hospitalizations are falling after hitting a peak about a week ago. In New York City, cases have dropped 44% and hospitalizations are down nearly 50% in just the last 7 days. Well, in other parts of the country, Omicron is spreading like wildfire, with more than 5.4 million new infections last week. Hospitals in Oklahoma City have a dire warning tonight. They are at a breaking point. In an extraordinary open letter, the major healthcare systems write, soon you or a loved one may need us for life-saving care, whether for a stroke, emergency appendectomy, or trauma from a car accident, and we might not be able to help. Can you imagine? Well, we also have this breaking news tonight. CBS News has learned that the Biden administration will announce tomorrow that it plans to provide 400 million N95 masks for free to Americans. CBS's Manuel Bojorquez is going to lead off our broadcast tonight from Charlotte, North Carolina, where cases there are up nearly 700% since last month. Good evening, Manny.
Good evening, Nora. Here in North Carolina, even as cases surged, some testing sites had to shut down over the weekend due to the winter storm, and there could be more bad weather on the way this weekend. But tonight, the federal government says there's another option for the near future. Today, as long lines persist at some testing sites across the country, the federal government's website to order rapid tests, covidtests.gov, is live. People can order up to 4 tests per household, which will ship within 7 to 12 days, the latest effort to try to bring down the number of cases and hospitalizations. This comes as fears that Omicron, which may cause less severe disease, may cause more deaths. Modelers are predicting 50,000 to 300,000 more Americans could die by mid-March.
I think the Omicron surge is going to be one that will be up and down in most locations in 5 to 6 weeks. It is going to be a challenge to get through those 5 to 6 weeks.
As Omicron continues its siege, some states are returning to pandemic protocols in schools. Massachusetts public schools today announced weekly at-home rapid tests will be available for students and staff. Nationwide, more than 6,000 schools were disrupted 1 or more days last week. Meanwhile, Oklahoma City's 4 major hospital systems say they've run out of ICU beds due to this latest surge. In North Carolina, COVID-related hospitalizations are at a pandemic high. Currently, 1 in 3 people tests positive. Dr. Katie Passaretti is chief epidemiologist for Atrium Health Carolinas Medical Center in Charlotte, where 156 COVID patients are on life support, 92% of them unvaccinated. For people who think Omicron is not that big of a deal, you're saying what you're seeing inside those hospital walls is a big deal.
Yeah, and throughout the pandemic, the experience of healthcare workers taking care of the sickest of sick patients, watching young people that are unvaccinated pass away from COVID, it's incredibly, incredibly heartbreaking and devastating.
Nationally, staffing shortages at some hospitals have started to subside, likely or possibly due to that shorter CDC recommended quarantine time. But here in North Carolina, the shortages remain a real concern. In fact, FEMA has dispatched a total of 25 ambulances with 2-person crews to assist in a dozen counties here. Nora?
Manny Bojorquez, thank you.